Hello, welcome to Info Hub. In our headlines, assistance being given to West Coast Demerara communities after flooding, 8th annual Ghana Day celebration, and Rupununi's splendor was on display. Stay tuned for the details of these and more. Daddy! We begin Info Hub with a special report from Delicia Haynes on the tidal flooding which affected several West Coast Demerara communities over the weekend.
The communities of Iflat, Lenora, Stewartville, and De Willem are returning to normalcy following recent flooding when unprecedented spring tides overtopped the seawall along sections of the west coast of Demerara. Since the incident on early Friday morning, the Civil Defense Commission and the regional administration has been providing the necessary relief and intervention. Several ministers have since visited the area, including Acting Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs, Carl Greenidge.
The engineers have given me a lot of guidance as to what the problem is that they face, what they will be doing about trying to reinforce the wall from the other side. That's one side. Secondly, to keep the drains flowing, because that's a big problem, and a problem that the community has to help us with. If they're blocking the drains, then the water can't run off.
While the Public Infrastructure Ministry worked to repair the damaged seawall, 2 relief shelters were set up at Iflat Secondary School and the Iflat Lenora Community Development Center to house those displaced. Deputy Director General of the CDC, Lieutenant Colonel Kester Craig, supervised the distribution of sanitation packages to residents in the affected communities.
What we're doing today is distributing cleaning items, sanitation items, to all the homes of the affected so that they can assist in cleaning up the area and to ensure that to reduce any health hazard from affecting the families and to keep away insects, snakes from biting the children and the member of the families.
By Sunday, residents could have been seen cleaning up their premises and returning to some level of normalcy. The affected areas continue to be monitored. Meanwhile, the affected Lenora Hospital was temporarily closed after the bottom flat was flooded. The cleanup exercise at the Lenora Treatment and Diagnostic Center is moving apace. Assistant Administrator Ms. Kathleen Armstrong stated that upon completion, the facility is expected to be reopened on Thursday, March 8th.
Presently, we are in the mopping up exercises. Even though the Guyana Fire Service would have initially done some work, we still have to continue by wiping, doing our floors, sanitizing, and all the other aspects of the mopping up exercise. There's still some areas where we have the thick mud, and thanks to one of our contractors, he is bringing a power hose, and so we're going to be hosing out, especially the pharmacy and the health center. Those were the hardest hit.
Meanwhile, patients continue to be referred to the Mildred Cox Young Health Center at Den Amstel and the Iflat Community Center ground that are functioning on a 24-hour basis providing health care.
As of date, at these 2 health centers, Iflat and Den Amstel, we did not get any report on any flood-borne diseases. We also would like to give special thanks to the Cuban Medical Brigade who really helped during this period. They rendered their services. They went beyond the call.
From Lenora on the west coast of Demerara, I am Delicia Haynes.
Featured speaker at this year's Ghana Day celebration, Acting Prime Minister Carl Greenidge has called on Guyanese to take note of their history to gain an appreciation of the freedoms they enjoy today. Stacey Carmichael was there.
The annual Ghana Day celebration began with a parade moving from the Square of the Revolution along Durban Street and culminating at Congress Place, Sophia. Vice President and Acting Prime Minister Carl Greenidge reflected on the transatlantic slave trade and the impacts of slavery on Caribbean culture.
In the everyday pursuits that we undertake, the links with Guyana and Africa as a whole remain. Much of the African cultural and social remnants that you find in Guyana are indeed of either Fanta or Twi origin, that is, they are Ghanaian. And Guyana have been inextricably linked, not always visibly, but they've been inextricably yoked over the years. And that yoke has, as many of you will be aware, touched on many aspects of our lives.
Former Mayor of Georgetown, Hamilton Green, in his presentation stressed the importance of knowing one's history in order to move forward.
If you lose your history, you die. And beyond that, mankind has a bad habit. Barbara Tushman, in her well-written book, The March of Folly, reminds us that people in every part of the world, east, west, north, and south, don't seem to learn from their own experiences.
African clothing, food, and accessories were also on display. For InfoHub, Stacey Carmichael.
Minister of Public Security Kemraj Ramjatan says it is the duty of the citizenship to be involved in community policing. Here's more from Paul McAdam.
Public Security Minister Kemraj Ramjatan said he is satisfied with the work of community policing groups. Delivering remarks at his Brickdown office to launch the observance of 42 years of community policing, the minister also called on citizens to get involved.
Far more can be done, but that more can be done by the community, people like yourselves and a lot of others becoming involved. What I find happening is that the more educated of the lot within the communities, who could understand domestic violence, who could understand suicide prevention, who can help in so many social projects, and who also have the financing to help plug a better system, are not coming forward. There are lots of people here who have tried and pleaded with those members, and they're not coming forward. But whenever there is a crisis, they call on these guys.
Meanwhile, Administrator for CPGs in Guyana, Dennis Pompey, noted that it was important for citizens to recognize the important roles that community policing groups play in maintaining safe neighborhoods.
The security of their community rests with them. Every citizen in a community has the responsibility to have a safe and secure community. Because without a secure and safe community, you can't have development. You cannot bring up your children in the right way you want to bring them up, right? And those are some of the things we try to instill in them and say, listen, regardless of the little difficulties you might face, it is important for you to come forward because you would benefit, your kids would benefit off.
According to Pompey, there are currently 221 groups with 4,304 members across Guyana. This year's observances are being held under the theme, Promoting Safe and United Communities by Building Social Cohesion through Improved Quality of Communication, Community Understanding and Citizens' Needs. Paul McAdam for InfoHub.
More than 120 students from 46 schools are vying for honors at the biennial Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts and Mathematics Fair. Natisha Isaacs has the details.
Nursery, primary and secondary school students across Region 4 will be showcasing their talent, innovation and creative minds. For the first time, the arts have been included in the fair and the presentations were met with great enthusiasm.
This is the first year the arts are officially a part of this event. This fair is about our collective future, our shared destiny.
This year's fair at the Diamond Secondary School is being hosted under the theme Science, Technology, Engineering, Art and Mathematics, paving the way for a green and sustainable society.
We're representing Diamond Secondary School and our topic today is food security. We have herbs that you can get leaves and fruits and dry them. We have jams, pickles. We also have wines that you can make. And today our main attraction is quail eggs.
On the east coast of Zamora, there have been an increase in automobile workshops, but the canals are being blocked and clogged up by water hyacinth. Well, we are using this water hyacinth to extract all the chemicals and heavy metals from the water that we got from the automobile workshops. And that is then allowed to trickle through a sedimentation tank, which further reduces the TSS, total suspended solids. That is one of our aims. And as we know, the water bills have been going up. And farmers, it is being hard on farmers for them to have to pay such a large water bill and them after doing their job. So the water, after being phyto-extracted and also sedimented, can be used for gardening purposes.
I'm from Mahaika Primary School, and today we will be displaying like the different things mango can be made. We have the mango achar, we have the mango pickle, the mango sour, the mango drink, the mango syrup, the mango medicine, and the mango cake.
The two-day fair began today, Monday, March 5, and will continue tomorrow, Tuesday, March 6. For InfoHub, Natisha Isaacs.
Seneca Thorne tells us that over 300 households in Yorong, Peru, Upper Takatu, Upper Essequibo will now benefit from potable water for the first time following the commissioning of the newly rehabilitated community water supply system on March 1.
90% of the community's 340 residents have gained first-time access to treated water, which has met World Health Organization standards. The other 10% of the residents not captured under the system received jerry cans, which will filter their water. GWI's Managing Director, Dr. Richard Van Westral, said that the initiative reaffirms the government's commitment to provide all access to quality potable water.
As a country, Guyana must see that all of its communities, no one, no child, no elderly person should die as a result of waterborne disease.
Prior to the intervention, 80% of the residents received water directly from an existing spring, which was at risk for contamination. Tushao Rovain Francis expressed gratitude for the initiative.
We are now seeing probably to be more treated. Whereas years gone by, we know we had suffered a lot, drinking some kind of dirty water, years gone by. And now, we are seeing, and our children are benefiting from that treated water. They are consuming that treated water now.
WHO representative Dr. Bonet Gabriel urged the residents to cherish and protect their new resource for their health and well-being. The US $19,000 project is a joint venture between the Guyana Water Incorporated and PAHO WHO and was executed with support from the Regional Democratic Council and Yorong Paru Village Council. Seneca Thorne for InfoHub.
Rupununi's splendor was on full display as the border town of Lethem celebrated Guyana's 48th Republic anniversary with its annual Mashramani float parade on Saturday. Seneca Thorne was there and filed our final report.
It was a kaleidoscope of colors as our street transformed the streets of Lethem into a vibrant spectacle.
The St. Ignatius Secondary School, the region's Health, Education and Agriculture departments, the Mayor and Town Council, and the Regional Democratic Councils were all represented. The locally designed floats displayed the splendor of the Rupununi, waterfalls, the Kunuku Mountains, flora and fauna, gold and diamond minerals, and several other features of the region. Leading the Lethem Town Council band was outgoing Mayor Carlton Beckles, who told InfoHub that he was delighted to be a part of what he described as the best costume and float parades ever held in the region.
I'm feeling excellent, confident, and feeling happy. Well, the costume as you see there is the fake celebration for a green thumb. Most of the things that we're using here are recycled. Plastic bottles, clay, coconut branches, etc. So our vision for a clean environment and a green thumb. So that's what the costume is depicting to the various wildlife and so forth.
Minister of Indigenous Peoples Affairs Sidney Alika commended the organizers and participants for pulling off a spectacular show.
Today's activities better than last year, and things could get better in the days to come, the years to come. I would like to say that sometimes we take things for granted, but I'd like us to take a moment to think about those who put this together, the creativity that is shown.
The event culminated with a concert which featured local artists Jomo Primo and Granny Ivla. Seneca Thorne for InfoHub.
Check our website or Facebook page for more details as we bring you updates and developments across Guyana and further afield. Thanks for watching. Remember to connect with us 24/7 on our website and social media. Goodbye.